Hey everybody, welcome to part 3 of the history of distortion. Now, a few of you guys mentioned that I missed the bit about cascading gain designs and preamps in the last episode, and that is correct. Somebody figured out that if you change a preamp section so one tube is chained into the next, it increases the amp's distortion. Naturally, guitar players went wild with the design and started pushing their amps harder and harder. That seems to be a running theme in this series. And if one amp reigned supreme in the 80s, it was the Marshall JCM 800. And this amp wound up on everything, all styles of hard rock. I remember plugging into one back in the 80s and asking myself, is this it? What's the big deal? Well, it turns out the JCM 800 became a very big deal if you put something like a turbo distortion in front of it. Now, I'm playing Glenn the Guitar Man Fricker, and Positive Grid is my bin for tools. So let's take a look at what happens with a turbo distortion sim on a very early 80s style of new wave of British metal type riff. Check it out. I gotta say, I'm kind of proud of that mix. I grew up on the 80s and all those British bands were my bread and butter. Priest, Maiden, oh hell yeah. And I drove everyone within a 10-mile radius around me completely mad by playing it as loud and as often as possible. Of course, guitar players didn't just stop there, and not everyone had a JCM 800 laying around. As I recall, they weren't very cheap back in the day. But pedals were much more affordable, and it wasn't long before someone got the bright idea to run an overdrive into a distortion pedal. Now, I'm not going to presume that's how Metallica did Kill 'Em All, but for those of us kids at home, that is exactly how a lot of us did it. Overdrive into a distortion pedal, and wow, did we ever go through a lot of 9-volt batteries. But it didn't just stop at British metal and thrash. There was that whole LA glam thing going on as well. And the one pedal that was the particular favorite of that crowd was the Pro-Co Rat pedal. Check out this sim. Pretty cool, but it really wasn't my scene, as a lot of the guys wore more makeup than the girls. But hey, it was still way more fun than what was coming up next, the grunge scene. Yay. Fortunately, the 90s also had some extremely cool amps as well. We'll check out some of those tones in the next episode.